Hello fellow YouTube modelers. It's time for a workbench update. I'm going to try starting today to do these every week regardless of what's on the bench. It's been over a year. The last update that I did was on July 1st of 2018 and a lot has happened since then. I haven't really been active in the modeling community up until the last month or so. Lately I've been working with scalemates.com. I've been updating and uploading data for their online model database. If you want to go check them out, I'll put the link in the description. It's a really good site. It's a place where you can go on there and you can search virtually any model that is currently or was previously available. As long as somebody has information on a model, it's in their database. If you had or have one vintage kit that may not be in the database, then you can by all means add it. I've been adding instruction manuals and images of box art and images of decals and things like that, stuff for their database. And of course you can also use their website to manage a inventory of your own kits and accessories, things like that. Basically anything that's related to modeling, whether it be a full kit, conversion kits, decal sets, aftermarket parts, anything that can be purchased, has a part number, you can put on the website, create an inventory for yourself. And speaking of inventories, the other thing that I've been doing is creating an Excel spreadsheet inventory of all of my kits, aftermarket parts, conversion kits, and my vast array of spare parts. As time progresses and I get more of a complete list, I'll start posting it on social media, offering the parts for trade or sale. You know, if you have a vintage kit that's missing a wheel, I might have it in my supply and I can send it to you, and then you'll be able to complete that kit, that kind of thing. On to the actual workbench. Okay, so this is the Freightliner single drive. You can see it's been sitting for a while, so a lot of the stuff is, the pinstriping is actually coming off and it's rather dusty, but you can see a lot of it. It's got the aftermarket wheels and tires, and I believe the interior is started. Yeah, I have a start on the interior, but I think the reason why this came to a dead end, or came to a stop, is because I was working on making custom glass to put in here, and it just wasn't going the way that I had planned. I mean, it was gonna be, you know, I envisioned it being nice flush mounted glass, but it just doesn't seem like it was working out the way I'd hoped, and it just kind of got frustrating. So I just said I'm just gonna set it aside and come back to it later. Well, I never came back to it. So that's going to be something that I'm going to try to pick up again soon, but I've got other things that I want to do first. Okay, so then we got the Peterbilt 359 California hauler. This, like I say, this is a reissue. You can see I have a photo. This is kind of what I do on a lot of my kits. Maybe I'll show you that in a minute. All my kits that I have on the shelf, if I have a plan for them, they have a photo of what I'd like to do with the kit attached to the box. And this is actually the truck from the movie Deadhead Miles. It's yellow with kind of a red scalloped stripe. Just there's something about that color scheme that I really dig that. So and it's the same truck, basically the same kit or the same truck that's in this box. I mean, the only difference is the wheels and the front bumper. Everything else is pretty much identical to the kit. So, inside the box you can see all that I have done is the engine. So this is pretty much to the point where it can be sprayed. So I think my next step is just going to be a little bit of cleanup. I see a few more mold lines that need, or joint lines that need to be cleaned up, and then I can spray that. I didn't strip the chrome first because when I decided to start doing this build, I wanted it to be a simple build. I wanted, because the kit is basically exactly what the movie truck looked like, with the exception of the wheels and tires. So I was just going to do a box stock build and then just paint it to match the truck from the movie. So I wanted it to be a quick box stock build with the exception of the paint. So I just started throwing parts together. I didn't take the time to strip the chrome. So what I'll do is I'll just get special primer that'll cover the chrome. I'll probably in the future strip the chrome before I do any of the parts. I think I did end up, I'd have to dig through the parts, but I believe I did strip some chrome. After the fact, I started stripping some chrome, but I don't see any of the parts in here now. It's a good thing I got a whole supply of parts, right? I believe there was some other small engine parts that I had started stripping. But anyway, so that's going to be another project going on the bench soon. Now, this is the one that we're going to start working on again. I'm sorry to say that it's been kind of neglected. You can see it's rather dusty. It's been sitting, I get into these phases where, I get bored with something and I decide to move on to something else, and I'll just basically take it off the bench the way it is, put it on the shelf and leave it. I always kick myself when I come back to them later and think, well, why didn't I at least do something a little, put it in the box and cover it so it didn't get covered in dust. So there's going to be a little bit of cleanup involved before I can get back to this, cleaning a lot of the dust off. But the chassis is pretty much ready to go. I just need to do, put the other fuel tank on and some other little odds and ends. But you can see the chassis is ready to go. It's even got some weathering done to it. The cab and hood and sleeper, they're all painted and decaled. They just need to be cleaned up, and then I can go and I think what I'm going to do with this one, because it's supposed to be mid-70s style, and automotive paint wasn't the quality that it is today, especially on commercial trucks. So I think what I'm going to do is, after I get all the dusts off of this and cleaned up, get the paint cleaned and ready, then I'll do a dull coat followed with a gloss coat. That will kind of give it a matte finish, not a flat, dull finish, but kind of a semi-gloss finish, and that'll more simulate the single stage paints from back then, especially on, like I say, these older commercial trucks. They didn't really, unless you were buying a custom built rig, they didn't spend a lot of time on the paint. They just basically sprayed it and shipped it out the door. So that's the project. That's what's going to be going on the bench soon. So next week, when I do my weekly update, you'll actually see some more progress on this. So that's my update for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys come back and watch them again, and keep watching, keep subscribing, keep liking, and keep sharing. Stay safe out there, enjoy your modeling, and have fun. See ya.